Okay, here's a guitar that arrived today. I ordered this roughly a week ago from a reverb seller, Bad Cat Instruments, Shengze. I'm surprised it came all the way from China in just a box. Usually they're in those big styrofoam coffin things. So I'm a little curious to see how this thing survives. So we're going to open it up. Let's see. There it is. Shengze. I'll say this much for it. I mean, there's no scarf joint like you usually see on the necks. Piece here, so it's a couple pieces. We'll definitely give it the once over real close and check it out. You know, some little imperfections there, but for what you pay, it's not a bad looking guitar. I'm going to check it out. Obviously, another piece is here. So 3-piece, it's kind of hidden in the back. Not sure how they do that, but looks fairly good. I don't see any markings or scratches or anything, or chips or dings, or. But we'll get it on the bench and we'll check it out. It's a little lighter than I thought in the picture, but seems to have survived the trip. All right, well, there it is. We'll talk to you soon. All right, so we got this bad boy on the bench. The amp you hear is kind of humming, but get the volume turned down a little bit here. Freaking volume Okay, so we got the guitar on the bench. You know, there's obviously some finish issues you can see in between the neck here. You know, the strings are not really good. They're not staying in tune at all. The frets feel very rough when you go to bend. Maybe a polish will help, but the fret ends are really nice. Here's the big thing though. I mean, you know, typical setup. Rear pickup treble. Can hear it. Shouldn't be able to hear that one. In the middle position, can hear them both. In the rhythm position, kind of can hear that, but you can still hear that. So there's obviously a wiring issue. The other thing is when you go from switch to switch, sometimes it stays on, sometimes it turns off. The volume knobs, there's not much of a taper. It's just like on and then it's off, basically. We still got a little ways to go. Oh, and that one spins. That one's tight. But I shouldn't have no volume. So we obviously got a major wiring issue here. Now the weird thing is that these control cavities on the back, I'll turn the guitar over in a second, I have a very rough finish. They're countersunk though, which is nice. But you turn it over and it's all beveled and rounded like the shiny side. So either, I'm not sure why they would have done it. It's that way for the toggle switch as well. It's countersunk, but I think they did the wrong side in my opinion. So let's turn this over. You can look inside this cavity. Here's the wiring. Obviously a little mini plug that goes to the toggle switch. You know, no branded pots. So, you know, there's some kind of issue here with wiring. So I really can't stand the way those volume pots are though, and the tone pots. So to replace this stuff is probably what's going to happen. As far as playing it and staying in tune right now, it's not staying in tune, but I think it's because of the poor quality strings. And, you know, we'll figure it out a little more as we get more into it. But obviously there's a major wiring issue, so we're going to fix that. We'll be back. Well, I'm not sure if you can read that on there, but it says Epiphone. And I'm in the process of rewiring everything because the wiring was so screwed up it would never work. Anyhow, putting in new pots, new tone, new caps, new volume and tone. We will continue on. So after rewiring this, it's determined that this Epiphone, I don't know if you can see it says Epiphone, toggle switch is bad. So if it's in the middle position, they're both on. One position, the side's on that's supposed to be on, but then when you go to the other position, all three are on, just like in the middle. So this is a bad jack, or I should say selector switch. So I'm going to have to replace this. Onward I go. Okay, so I've got the problem fixed. So we had a bad toggle switch, selector switch, whatever you want to call it. So right now you can see the lead pickup is reading about 11.25. Not sure if you can read that on there. And then we switch to the rhythm. We're getting about the same. A little hotter actually. So they are the same pickups. And in the middle position, kind of kooky, but that's where the reading is. Alright. So I did replace all the electronics. I even replaced the output jack with a DiMarzio, just because they had it wired to this mini plug thing and I couldn't really figure out the damn wiring because I was too lazy. So there you have it. I'm going to probably do the strings and do the neck a little bit. The frets are a little rough. They need to be polished. Kind of grainy feeling. Kind of reminds me of like a Chibson. I've played those before, so that's just the way it feels. And we'll see where we go. I'm going to probably take the strings off at some point and change out. I'm going to change out these pickups, obviously. Or at least the bridge pickup. But I'll pull them out and we can see what they branded. I have a feeling they might say Epiphone, but they might not. We'll see. Stay tuned. Well, as I suspected, it is an Epiphone pickup. And it says R, so I wonder if that means it should be in the rhythm position. We'll take the other one out and see what that says. That says F, so I'm going to guess that. I don't know. Front? What else? Front and rear? I don't know. Who knows, but it is an Epiphone pickup. Not sure if you can see that on there, but it says Epiphone right there. Alright. Well, looks like a very fucking thin veneer. Excuse my language. Yeah, there's some. So there you go, Epiphone pickups. Kind of what I suspected. And the other thing about this is that this bridge, or tailpiece, whatever you want to call it, though it goes on nice and easy that side, it won't even fit in here. It was so jammed in there, I had to pry it out. So this is going to have to be ground down or something to figure out why this is so tight over here. Let me try this real quick. Oh, so it's this post is bigger. This post is too big. Alright. Good job, guys. Very impressive looking inlay, though. I mean, that's nice. I did treat the fretboard. I'm letting it soak in right now, and then I'm going to go and kind of hand polish these frets a little bit, see if I can get some roughness. But I think a lot of it has to do with the cheapy strings on here. So I got to screw these back in, obviously, and I got that issue with that right there. That post is a lot bigger than the other one, so I'll see if I got another one, but I doubt I have one I can swap it out with. Making progress. You know, there's a couple imperfections you can see, like right there. Some of these seams here are not the greatest. Yeah, there's little markings around the peg head, but other than that, not too worried about it. It's coming along. Alright, so I've treated the fretboard. I mean, man, it soaked that crap up. So when I was wiping it down, I was feeling these. These feel pretty flush. But when you get up here, there's a noticeable edge. So, you know, you're going to be sliding a string and it's going to catch on that, no doubt. So I'm not even sure how to address that. Kind of crappy. I don't know if you can see that, but definitely a groove there. Or it's higher. The inlays are higher. Alright, so we put some Diodario strings on. Set it up. Intonation was still pretty good. I did not actually polish the frets yet. But I wanted to get this thing together and try, see how it sounds with the pickups that are in it. If you want to see, this is how much, I can't even tell if you can see that. 8 pounds, 7.2 ounces is the weight. Okay, so, replaced the volume and tone pots. Nice gradual off. The other ones before you probably saw in the video where they just, you go almost all the way, all of a sudden they're finally off. There's no volume control. So this is through an angle of thunder. When it gets to the high gain, it's not good. This is a little more gain. Now it's about to get really squealy. Just so you know, a lot of other guitars I own do not do that. So these are probably not potted very well, if at all. So, for me, this pickup is caca. Both of them, actually. These are Bourne's pots. And there'll be more probably in this video. Who knows? Maybe this could be the end. Thanks for watching. If it is, bye. Alright, here's the process so far. I've replaced this pickup with a much better pickup. No more feedback squealing problems. I did have some issue with some high frets, which I had to work on, but one thing I noticed is that on some of these frets, you can actually slide your fingernail underneath them, so either they're not seated all the way, or there's something else going on. But I had a couple high spots where I've had to do some dressings. Still pretty good shape, though. That thing about the putting my nail under there kind of freaks me out, but one other thing I did is I had to replace these tuners. I was having major tuning issues. These are the ones that were on there. They don't have like a nut of any type. It's just like seated in there, pressed in. I bought these Wilkinson tuners. I didn't want to spend a ton of money. They're almost identical looking. I mean, these have a little more slop though. Almost a direct replacement, except these tops are the same type, where they seat in like these. The difference is the Wilkinson's ones were maybe 1/16 longer. I did have to drill these holes bigger, just in the top, but I had to do it very carefully, because if you make it too big, then it doesn't press in, and it's loose. But they are basically the same tuners. They just say Wilkinson Deluxe on them. Now, the issue I had with this bridge, bad toggle switch. I've replaced all the electronics. The seller did say they were going to send me replacement parts, but I've reached out to them through Reverb Nation probably 4 times, and I'm not getting any reply back. My last couple messages were just let me know to confirm that you're sending out replacement parts, but nothing so far. So give them a little more time. I am going to have to work on this, though the tuning improved, replacing the original cheapo tuners. This nut must still be hanging up. It's much better with these tuners, but I still have some tuning stability issues. So might have to do a little more work on those. Maybe at some place replace this. I think it's just cheap plastic. But not a bad guitar, just not great. It's kind of a Chibson. I'm pretty sure the guys that are making it are the ones that make Chibsons too. So that's the update for right now. There'll be more to come. So here's the problem with this fret. Now I thought it just needed to be crowned, but it's moving. That seems to be the only bad one, so I'm gonna have to figure a way out, maybe glue that back in somehow. But so far this has been pretty much shit in my opinion. Oh, and I told them I was going to request a refund, and now all of a sudden they're responding to my questions of asking where the spare parts are, but now want to know where the spare parts are. So I just asking for a partial refund. We'll see if it comes through. Okay, well, I went to try and glue the one end in, even though this isn't the best way to clamp it in. The whole fret pulled right out really easily, so I tried to put a little glue on there. We'll see how it works. So I'm going to wrap up this video about this guitar. It took a long time to get any kind of resolution out of the seller. It wasn't until I filed a claim with PayPal and Reverb that they decided in favor of my claim. And once I got a refund, of course now the seller is like, oh, I'll give you a little bit money back, which is what I asked for originally, considering all the stuff I've done. But I'm going to tell you right now, there are multiple loose frets on here. This thing needs to have a fret job. That's the only way to make this thing worth anything. I'm a little disappointed. I mean, you get what you pay for, I get it. But so we're going to wrap this video up. I do not recommend this guitar in one way. That's it. See you on the next one.